welcome to the 4th Annual Women in Leadership Panel Discussion. This year, an historic election year when there's been as much focus on the female candidates as there has been on the men who might be running the country.
Right after she was nominated, we saw a lot of groups like the National Organization for Women saying she's not pro-woman, she's not a feminist, she's, literally Lucifer, was the way a lot of people have described Sarah Palin. And so within the feminist community, there's a lot of discussion going on with women about the fact that there were a lot of women who were right-of-center women who did not feel like they had a home.
Are we beyond the term feminism? I mean, is it just meaningless now?
The old idea of what a feminist is no longer applies whatsoever. They are very, very limited. The movement is dead. And Sarah, if it wasn't already, Sarah has finished it off. Just buried, done, all the dirt's now on top of that box, okay? It's done.
I think that in a way, the Palin choice is not the death of feminism, it's the triumph of feminism. And if feminism is no longer a debate, it's because we won. And I don't mean we, the ideological feminists, I mean we, the women who said women should have more choices. If women want to work, women are competent, we bring a lot to the workplace. If we don't want to work, that's a great choice too. We should have that choice. So let's get off Sarah Palin's back on her personal choices. Let's debate the hell out of her crazy policy ideas. And let's move forward for women.
This is the generation that's no longer having to be defined by the past, but is now young and capable and smart, and you can actually talk about their issues. So what I find with talking about a lot of young people, yes, there's a lot of people who are very moved by the fact that she's a woman, and she's attractive, and she's a mother, and she's doing all this, embracing all of these things that were very difficult for our mothers and our grandmothers. But at the same time, we're also really concentrating on what her issues are. Is she a creationist? Does she believe in global warming? The fact that she talks about her daughter's choice and saying she's very proud of it, but that she wants to take that choice away from other women.
What about the idea of sexist media treatment? I mean, Hillary Clinton said it was there. People are saying Sarah Palin is not being treated well. Is that an issue?
Where I thought was outrageous is the assaults on her. Tim Kaine is a governor of Virginia for 2 years or less. He's done nothing remarkable, and he was tossed around as a possible choice for vice president.
But rejected because he didn't have enough experience.
No, but not by lots of groups were saying, yes, I was on the media as a possibility. He was one of the last four possibilities. And then you have Sebelius out there in Kansas as a possibility, as always tossed out. She didn't have a lot of foreign policy experience coming out of Kansas, I'm sure. She can't even see Russia,
So what we don't want to do is not have her put through the ringer, really.
That's
right?
The conundrum that we have as women, particularly women in politics, is you can't have it both ways. I mean, early on let us not forget that Sarah Palin's nickname is Sarah Barracuda, and she is the only person I have not seen who's saying, don't be mean to me.
Exactly.
I can't handle it. The bottom line is, if you're going to run for president, if you're going to be on the vice presidential ticket, if you're going to run for any office, I think that you have to realize that politics is not fun.
I think a lot of women looked at Sarah Palin and thought, and they weren't critical of her for being picked or because they thought she couldn't do the job, but it was just thinking, okay, she's going to be on the campaign trail, she has a 3-month-old baby and how many other kids, and instead of thinking, yes, I want that too, I think a lot of women are thinking, you know what, I don't want that anymore. I'm looking for a little more balance in my life.
I think it was actually a display of what's worse about us as women.
Yeah.
Because as long as we second guess the choices that other women make, we will always be held back a little bit. I may not have made the same choice that Sarah Palin did with her family, but it's her right to make that choice. And it's really demoralizing to me to hear, and it mostly came from the left, but it also came from the right, all the attacks on Palin on that issue. Oh my God, I can't stand it. I look at the way they're dragging Trigg out onto stage at the Republican convention. I think he'll probably be fine. Have a late night.
But it sounds like everybody on the stage, that everybody agrees, whatever impact Sarah Palin has ultimately in terms of who wins, that her selection is not going to be negative for women. It's a plus to have the discussion, to look at these issues.
It's absolutely a plus. It's just a terrific step forward to let women know, you can be lots of different things, and you can be them all. You can be yourself and be successful.
And even if you're made fun of
even
5 weeks in a row by TNA on Saturday Night Live.
It's
Right.
loving mockery.
Well,
loving.
you have to be tough.
We're laughing.
You have to be tough and ready to take the criticism, but that should not even bother you. I think Sarah has taught us how to take that criticism. Just dismiss it and move
I think that's
forward.
actually a really important point, that her optimistic, kind of laugh-it-off demeanor is really a positive thing for women. Hillary did get sometimes caught in the trap of feeling a little bit victimized. I think she's been under assault for so long that it just wore her down. But Palin provides a different kind of role model, and I think that's her imperviousness in the face of withering criticism is admirable.